What's up everyone, it's Endymion, and recently Netflix has released their latest expensive fanfiction in the form of The Witcher Season 3 Part 1. God, I hate this new trend of releasing things in parts. Clearly, Netflix and other streaming services only do this because they want to milk everyone's monthly renewal subscriptions. Anyway, in case you care, the newest season is now available, and it's also the last time Henry Cavill will be playing Geralt of Rivia, which means Season 3 is likely the end of the series for millions of fans, and really, who can blame them? Netflix has also been getting flack for promoting the series with Henry Cavill as the butt of their joke. As you can see, Netflix's moronic marketing team thought the only way to promote The Witcher was to remind people Cavill's still in it, but also make a joke of the fans' disdain for Netflix's actions that led to Cavill leaving. At least it's sobering to know that Netflix and their writers' room, who've been exposed already for openly hating the Witcher mythos in the games, are finally realizing, wait a second, it looks like people really do only watch this show because of Henry Cavill. Well, hot damn, who could have guessed? The stats for Henry's final journey were also released as well, with the new season debuting in first place with 15.2 million views and about 73 million hours of watch time, so the new season is doing well, stat-wise at least. Although that #1 spot has already been dethroned almost immediately following its release, with a new comedy special from Tom Segura having more views than the entirety of Season 3. And that's hilariously embarrassing for the people making Witcher when a single comedy special where a dude stands on stage and just makes jokes is outperforming your $1 million international series that took years to make. Not only was this reign of the #1 spot taken, but Season 3 is also the lowest rated for the mainline series as well, with the audience score plummeting below 50% for the first time and the critic score dropping around 10% as well. So it looks like the decision to Stranger Things split their season is not paying off the way Netflix wanted. Not to mention, fans are blasting the series for having amateur-level storytelling with a terrible finale that replays entire scenes over and over while trying to seem clever. There's also no sense of space either, with characters teleporting and knowing where other characters are without telling each other. There's actually one scene, spoilers I guess, but like who cares dude, come on already, where Ciri runs away from Aretuza, which is where all the sorceresses hang out. Anyway, Ciri somehow evades dozens of sorceresses' prying eyes and magic locks somehow, and then rides a horse out of Aretuza without anyone seeing her, only for the Wild Hunt of all people to show up like the Renaissance Men in Smiling Friends.
Who's the Renaissance Man?
Oh, it just says here that the Renaissance Men are coming in town. And by the looks of it, it's like super soon. It's like really soon.
Who are the Renaissance Men? I don't know who they are.
Look, I'm just telling you what I'm reading here, man. That's all I know. You know as much as I know. I'm just reading off this thing. It says the Renaissance Men are coming in town really soon.
Then out of nowhere comes Cavill's Geralt, who would have no way of knowing Ciri was running away, and then saves her only for the Wild Hunt to back off again. To say the plot and the leaps of logic within Season 3 are bad, that would be an understatement.
Who's the Renaissance Man?
The Witcher is definitely a show made by people who were paid money to do things like write scripts and make costumes. It will certainly go down in history as one of the shows of all time. And honestly, when such terrible writing like this exists in flagship shows, it's no wonder studios don't want to pay writers more. When the stuff they're making like Witcher, for example, are so baffling, they should be paying Netflix for letting them make such schlock in the first place. Also, can we just circle back for a second about that ad campaign? Imagine how Liam Hemsworth feels looking at those ads when the show you're about to take over is desperately vying for viewership by reminding people the guy you're replacing is still in it. Liam's probably in Australia right now, pumping iron and eating kangaroos, just crying himself to sleep knowing he's about to enter a sinking ship. Then of course there's the big question going forward about Liam as Geralt, like how the hell are they going to do it? Will they just Iron Man 2 it and have Don Cheadle replace Terrence Howard and then just go on with it? Apparently it's going to tie into the story and have lore implications, which fills me with ghoulish delight, I have to admit. Not because I'm hyped for Liam, but because I can't wait to see how stupid Netflix can get with this. Yahoo.com had an interview with the producers of The Witcher, with one of them named Tomek Baginski saying, and I quote, "We have a very, very good plan to introduce our new Geralt and our new vision for Geralt with Liam. Not going deeply into those ideas because this will be a huge spoiler, but it's also very, very close to the meta ideas which are deeply embedded in the books, especially in book 5. It's very lore accurate, it's very close to what was set out in the books, and I think this change will be quite flawless. But at the same time, it will be a new Geralt, it will be a new face for this character, and I think it will also be very exciting to see, end quote. Weirdly, fans were confused because there's nothing within the books that would lead to Geralt having a lore reason to change his look. Hear me out, this is so stupid, but it would be so funny. But maybe they'll get one of those shape-shifting gremlin guys to assume the identity of Geralt after he dies heroically for some reason. And Yennefer doesn't want to upset Ciri, so she pays a gremlin shapeshifter to look like Geralt, but the gremlin's drunk, so it ends up looking like Liam Hemsworth. Or the other likely scenario is that some magic spell or potion Geralt needs to drink in order to survive something ends up changing how he looks. And I just want to say, if I looked like Henry Cavill and I suddenly woke up looking like Liam Hemsworth, I'd throw myself into traffic at terminal velocity butt naked. Look, I'm not saying Liam is ugly, but Cavill is the Giga Chad. That's like if you look like Megan Fox in her prime, had to drink a potion to live, and suddenly woke up looking like Hannah Gatsby. I just tell the wizard to conjure me into a fireball and just launch me into the sun because I'd rather die than look like that. The other producer who was talking to Yahoo also chimed in about Henry departing with, and I quote, "I think the most important thing for us was to make sure he was very proud of those last scenes. Invariably, those last moments are the ones you leave an audience with, and those last couple episodes are very strong episodes for him. I think he left with his head held high and passing the reins as many franchises end up doing. Passing a title character from one actor to another, and we're going to be in great hands with Liam," end quote. At least in Liam's case anyway, he won't really be the main character going forward. I know you hear that and go, great, they're gonna Mandalorian Geralt out of the leading role. But in the book, Ciri takes center stage around this time anyway, with Geralt kind of becoming a co-lead, so you can't really be upset about it since that's how it's supposed to be anyway. I guess Netflix is hoping people won't be too mad about Geralt suddenly looking like baby Thor, since the camera will be more focused on Ciri anyway. And it seems all of the promotional interviews for the new season doesn't really focus on any other actors except Henry Cavill, with Screen Rant's exclusive interview with 2 actors that just talk about Henry Cavill and that's it. And you know it's bad when the article is titled, "His representation is flawless." Big yikes. 2 of these actors in the interview, Theresa Wilson-Reed and Mayanna Barina, basically gushed about Cavill the entire time. And if interviews like this are any indication, I think the actors even agree with the audience, they too think losing Henry Cavill sucks ass. Anyway, these 2 actors said, and I quote, "I don't think you can pick one thing. He's such a fan of the games and of the books, and I think that his representation of Geralt is flawless. I think maybe the voice is just brilliant, isn't it? I think the best thing is that he has been the first Geralt of this new imagining of The Witcher as a TV series. It's been games, it's obviously the source material of the books, and he sort of stamped Geralt out onto the world in TV series form, and has spread joy and excited old fans and brought in new fans. That's the best thing that he's been able to do. And it's been wonderful and really celebratory. I think we are all feeling very celebratory that he got to have Henry Cavill play The Witcher in this series. And we are also celebratory about the fact that he's now passing the baton of this fantastic character to another actor to evolve it into something else. That's what we do with fantasy characters. As actors, we pass the baton on. I think it's really exciting," end quote. Of course, they're not gonna throw Liam under the bus too hard. Well, they don't have to since Netflix did that already, but you get what I mean. And it's funny, but also pathetic, since just mere months ago, rumors and claims were made that Henry Cavill was a nightmare to work with and that he was hateful towards women, which were all claims pushed by a celebrity gossip podcast called Do You, who claimed they had info from unnamed staff on The Witcher who said Henry was a dude bro that became a nightmare on set. But what are we gonna believe here, honestly? The ramblings of a celebrity news podcast? Or the literal people who worked with the guy all saying they have had nothing but good things to say about him?
Obviously this is Henry's, final season. The good news is we still have a couple episodes to enjoy of, all you guys together. But taking us maybe behind the scenes a little bit, what was it like filming kind of the final episodes with you guys as a group? And, how are you feeling about that? And also, how excited are you for kind of the next chapter with Liam and what's to come?
Excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait to have Liam on board. And well, he is, but like meet him and you know, have him as Geralt. It's going to be bizarre, and I feel like I'm definitely going to feel that loss.
Yeah.
I think we all will. He's, you know, Henry's been incredible and carried the show, you know. So definitely going to feel that, but very, very excited for what's to come. There's so much story to tell. So
Yeah. Well, and Frey and Joey, do you guys kind of feel the same way chiming in?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's intriguing and exciting to get to see another version of this or interpretation of this character.
Yeah, very excited, and we'll all miss Henry greatly. And you know, as you say, behind the scenes, he's always just been a very, very supportive and funny, good-natured, you know, professional who was always the first to laugh on those bad days and to crack jokes, and that presence is, you know, cemented in the DNA of the show.
Yeah, and cemented in probably our us playing our characters. I mean, I know that I won't be able to help but visualize him, like, you know, going forward. It's just that's been Geralt, but I'm still really excited to see something new as well.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill no longer being Geralt is the killing blow of this series, and it's really not a good look when your show debuts and it's immediately beaten by one dude on a stage telling jokes. But things do like they're changing for the better, at least somewhat, since companies like Disney, Warner, and Netflix have all let their chief diversity officers go. These are the people in charge of ensuring things like gender identity and certain demographics are represented. Basically, they're paid to virtue signal and put diversity ahead of talent and, you know, actual quality. Unfortunately, Netflix will have a new diversity chief, but the current one is scheduled to leave by September 2023. What's insane is that the dude who's the diversity guy over at Warner Bros., his name is Asif Sadiq, by the way, said that American companies alone spend around $8 billion in order to train their employees to be accepting of diversity and inclusion. Unfortunately, they didn't spend that $8 billion to train their writers and producers to not be hacks that push gender nonsense over good storytelling. Because maybe if they did that, then Henry Cavill wouldn't have left The Witcher. But remember, friends, it's not racist to change predominantly Eastern European media to be more diverse. But you can't apparently use that same logic for any other project that has no white people, because diversity and inclusion is total nonsense. I want to end on Asif Sadiq blatantly confirming that diversity efforts are failing. Because it's not training staff at places like Netflix or Disney to be better, but only to see race and gender. Basically, these companies spent $8 billion to turn their employees into racists, which is funny as hell. But anyway, Sadiq said, and I quote, "It's not driving the change that we want to see. We are not achieving the success that people want to feel in the workplace." Why is that? Well, I argue the very training is biased. It's built with stereotypes. It has assumptions. It's not always diverse or inclusive, and many times it does the very opposite of inclusion, end quote. And by the looks of Netflix's recent bombs like Cleopatra and How the Witcher is going, yeah, that Sadiq guy's right. And when you push for diversity over good storytelling and inclusion over the quality of your product, that's how you get crap like The Witcher Season 3 Part 1, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's all I got for now, but it's not looking good. But I'd be lying if I wasn't a tad bit excited to see how poorly The Witcher will do in the future. Until then, remember to like the video to help the channel out and subscribe if you wanna. Have a great day as always, eat your vegetables so you get big and strong, and I'll see you in the next one.
Fire!
Charlie, what was that? What just happened?
Oh, the Renaissance men came into town finally. I literally told you at the beginning the Renaissance men were coming into town. He didn't believe me.
Wait, so you knew they were going to come and kill Griminali with arrows and stuff?
No, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Who are the Renaissance men? I don't know what that means, because that's not Renaissance. But that's not. They don't look like Renaissance men. What?
I literally
That's like
I don't know.
Completely different era.
I'm literally telling you the extent of my knowledge. I knew that the Renaissance men were coming into town. That's it.
Okay.